I call the member for Fremantle.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Thank you. Thank you. And look, I'm glad to speak on this matter of public importance because Centrelink is a critical guarantor of social justice and social inclusion in our country, or at least it should be. And what we've heard today is members on the other side not really taking issue with the failures of Centrelink or the mismanagement of Centrelink on their watch, but providing excuses for why that has occurred. And yet, under this government, from the time of its first budget, there's been a recklessness verging on neglect when it comes to those facing disadvantage in many areas, and Centrelink is probably chief among them. Every part of the social safety net, every part of the social contract has been squeezed and put under pressure, and it means people are getting less care and less assistance, people who desperately need it. They're being made to wait, they're being treated with disrespect, and worst of all, they're often being made to feel as if it's their own fault. Centrelink should be the bedrock of care in our society, the bedrock of care and support for Australians who need help, whether it's in a time of crisis or whether in the case of pensioners, age and disability pensioners, it's the foundation of their economic well-being. But Centrelink's not being enabled by this government to fulfil that role. In fact, it's being hampered across the board, and there's evidence of that at every level. You can look at the top-line statistics. Complaints to Centrelink are up nearly 20%. Client satisfaction is down by nearly 10%. The most recent Ombudsman's report shows that in the most recent period, complaints to the Ombudsman are up by 24%. You can look at the performance measures. The audit last year, a full third of all calls go unanswered. That's something like 22 million calls of people reaching out for assistance that they're not getting in a timely way. A third of calls require the person seeking assistance to wait more than half an hour. And there have been reports that aged pensioners are waiting 4 months in some cases for their pension application to be processed. I'm seeing that in my electorate. I've been a member for not much more than 100 days. I have people calling up my electorate asking my staff to ring through to Centrelink for them because they simply can't get through. Mistakes are being made. I had a constituent come to my office recently who'd been assigned a debt of some $25,000 based on assets of $180,000 that they just simply did not have. It's hard to understand how those kinds of errors occur. And unfortunately, the policies of this government are compounding the difficulties that people face. It starts with cuts to community legal centres that mean that people who need financial assistance don't get it and they get pushed onto the social safety net. Its lack of access or service at Centrelink itself, whether that's in person or on the telephone. And in the case of trying to get access through the internet, which is how many people are being pushed to gain access, irrespective of difficulties that they might have with language or age, there are numerous broadband black spots in my area that make that virtually impossible. Speaker, any agency is only as good as its staff, and that's the case with Centrelink. Over the years, that agency, the bedrock of social justice and the social welfare net in Australia, has been well served by tens of thousands of employees who have a commitment to helping people, staff who take pride in their contribution to Australia's social safety net because they know it's the foundation of our social democracy. But as the member for Oxley pointed out, Centrelink staff have been undermined by this government at every turn. Centrelink staff and their union, the Valiant Community and Public Sector Union, have been bargaining for nearly 2.5 years just to tread water, just to hold on to the conditions that they already have. Deputy Speaker, the mismanagement of Centrelink is harmful. It's costly, both in money terms, which those opposite might understand, but it's more costly when it comes to families and individuals in desperate need who can't get the assistance and support that they deserve. It's costly in terms of the impact on people's lives, on their prospects, on their futures. Saying jobs and growth 7,000 times a day simply doesn't make it so. The reality is, in my state, we're facing recession conditions in relation to rising unemployment. People are under pressure. It's putting families in difficulty and distress. People in those circumstances need help. Pensioners need and deserve support, and everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and given timely assistance when they need assistance. That won't happen if Centrelink continues to be mismanaged It can't happen unless Centrelink staff are enabled and supported in their essential work.